Welcome back to the DJ Sessions, where we feature the best DJs and producers from around the world. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and coming in halfway around the world, all the way from Rome, we have Leandro Da Silva coming in. Yeah, how's it going today?
Yeah, oh, great. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Absolutely. We're excited to have you on the show. We got a lot to cover and a lot to go over. So I really want to dive into this. But first, the first thing I want to dive into is you're not from Italy originally. You're from Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, and, I was born in Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, you moved to Italy at the age of 10. Now, to this day, and we're going to dive into some stuff here, but did you experience any of the music scene in Rio de Janeiro before moving to Italy, or was Italy where your transformation into electronic music came about?
Yeah, the music scene in Brazil was totally different. I think the electronic music developed a lot in the last years in Brazil. But I remember when I was a child, the music was samba, pagode, axé. And my grandfather used to work in the radio, my uncle too, in a radio station. So I remember when I was little child, I always was with them in this radio station, listening to the music. I was just playing, but probably the music was part of me. Then I moved to Italy, as you said, when I was 10. But at the beginning, I didn't think, okay, I want to work in a radio station. I want to be a DJ. Nothing like that. I decided to work in a radio station when I was 17 because I had the chance to enter in a radio station in my city, and there started everything.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, what age did you win the DJ contest that actually launched your career? Was that at the age of 17?
No. At the age of 17, I was working with little childs in an event, and in that event there was the owner of this radio called Radio Immagine, that it's a radio from my city, Latina. And I told him, I really would like to work in a radio station. And he said, okay, come to visit us. And the day after I was on the radio, I went to work here. The art director was a really good person that he told me, okay, if you want to work in a radio station, you need to learn something. So you can come here, I can teach you everything. And I remember I stayed like 8 months going the radio every day to learn everything before going air.
And what age did you win that DJ contest? Like, how long did that take from the transition of working in the station to maybe saying I'm comfortable enough to enter a contest or perform? That launched your career. How long did that take?
At 22. At 22, okay. I won this contest for the biggest and most important radio station in Italy called Radio DJ. And of course, my career changed at that moment because it was like a hobby. And then after this competition, it became my real job.
Now, were you also, while you were at the radio station, were you performing at the local clubs as well? Or did you have any residencies at the local clubs?
Yes, because of course, thanks to the radio station, I had the chance to enter in some clubs. I started to learn how to use the softwares like Logic, Ableton. At the beginning, it was just for the edits, but it was after that period, it was easier for me to understand how to use all the shortcuts to do the proper production. And then when I became a DJ from radio DJ, all the clubs in Italy start to call me just because I was the DJ of this radio. Not because they wanted me, but they wanted the radio in the club, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had the chance to do a lot of gigs, and also to, you know, to know how to perform in front of the people, to find a middle way between what I wanted to play and what people was expecting that I would need to play. So it was very important at this period for my career.
How did you experience the transition from being a national celebrity of sorts to an international touring DJ?
Yeah, it was not really easy at the beginning, because I in the radio I was a speaker. No, I was speaking in the radio. So when I started to produce my music, at the beginning I used an alias, because in Italy it's like that. If you're a speaker, he can be the DJ. Why he's also the DJ, you know? So it was not really easy, because my program was like a comic program. It was the morning show with, you know, with many characters. So it was pretty different from the Leandro Da Silva on the radio show. Was very different from the Leandro Da Silva, the producer that produced house music. So at the beginning, I must confess, it was not so easy. But then with the success of my first tracks, also the radio understood that maybe they need to invest in my DJ career. So they changed me a program to the morning show. I started to do a dance program with my own music on the afternoon. So it was easier after that.
Awesome. And speaking of releases, you just have something coming out this Friday called, is it Crazy Mistake, coming out?
Yeah,
with Nicky Ramiro's imprint, Protocol Recordings, and with Dennis, is it Buettler?
To be honest, I don't know how to pronounce, because it comes from Germany, but I think it's Beutler.
Butler. I sometimes, you know, when names come in, they're coming in from all over the world. You know, it's hard. I'm American. I have my American accent. Well, sorry, Dennis. We'll make sure we get it right. But
German is not an easy language.
Yeah, but Crazy Mistake coming out. How exciting is that to be releasing that?
I'm really excited. It's my second time on Protocol. I released another track 2 years ago with Mosiman. So it's good to be back in this collaboration with Dennis. We worked a lot on this track. Dennis came to me with a demo. I say, to be honest, he was sending me the track, I think, for my label, because I have my own label, Black Lizard. And I say, oh man, let's do a collaboration, because I really like your idea. So after that, I added some of my signature sounds, something on the groove. But to be honest, the track was already amazing. And then we sent to some labels, and Protocol really liked it and decided to release it.
Congratulations on that. And also you had another one that recently came out, was the Your Smile remix for Jay Mason, and I'm going to try Lulo.
I think this is French.
French, German. I need a full English course for a language course for all this stuff. But I was listening to that track as well, and that was a phenomenal piece of work. What got you involved with working with those two?
Yeah, the guys from Be Yourself, the label, they contacted me. We met each other in Amsterdam during Amsterdam Dance event, and then they proposed me to do a remix for this track, because they really liked my track Dreams that I released on Spinnin Records, and they say, oh, I think this style can fit a lot in a remix. So if you listen, for example, to Dreams and to Your Smile, you can find some similitudes. And I really like the original track, and I think my sound work really good with this vocal.
I was listening to your Spotify playlist before the show, going through everything, and I really, I came across a bunch of them, and Dreams was obviously number 3 on that list. But it looks like you had some really awesome. I was going through your EPK, and it looks like you had a really great year last year. Spotify with the downloads, the listens, and all of that. What have you seen that being online like Spotify, Beatport? Do you see those? You've seen the growth of those over the years because you started in radio, and I'm not sure. I mean, you look like a pretty young guy. You don't look like you're 22, but I'm not sure. How old are you?
I'm 35.
35. So, I mean, 13 years ago, these kind of platforms didn't really exist for artists. Have you seen more growth on the online platforms than you ever did in radio, or was there a comparable average amount of exposure? Like, I mean, obviously one puts you into a worldwide platform. The other kind of is more as far as the antenna goes. What are your thoughts on online and where it's going for the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Spotify absolutely changed the game, because the young people discover the music on Spotify right now. I'm not, as you say, a 20 years old guy. So, for example, when I go in my car, the first thing I do, I put the radio, and I search the best music in the radio stations. But I have a young brother that he's 20. My brother probably never listened to anything on the radio. He goes directly to his podcast, even if it's a podcast from a radio station. But he go directly to search what he needs on the podcast. I like to be like surprised. Oh, this is the program that I like. It's right now. I like to be surprised at what the radio is programming at the moment. But what I can see in my experience that the young generation, they prefer to looking for what they want in that moment. So Spotify changed everything. Before, the radio had the power also to tell you what is good and what is not good, what's going to be the hits, what's not going to be the hits. Now probably Spotify with the editorial playlists tell you what's work and what doesn't work,
Yeah, and one site I know you work with, you were given some accolades on, is 1001 Track Lists. I know that's a very huge source for DJs to see what other DJs are playing. I think it's a great resource if you're doing an online show or you're putting stuff out there, is to go and list in 1001 Track Lists. And a lot of independent producers could be found that way, especially if you're sharing your tracks and people are playing them. I think you're right. You can dive down a little bit more without the industry telling you what you want to hear or what you should be hearing. You can go out now and choose what you want to hear, which is just awesome. Thank you for that. Moving over to labels, Black Lizard Records. What can we expect from the course of the label Black Lizard this year?
We are really looking for tech house gems. We are, but to be honest, everything that it's house music, we are not looking for a specific sound, but everything that it's house music, tech house, that it's very good, that I will play in my sets, it's good for Black Lizard. We're looking for quality music, and I'm pretty happy with our latest releases. We have a lot of big artists coming in the label this year, so it's gonna be a huge year.
Awesome. And I was going through your Instagram and I saw there was a picture of you in a studio. Are you in that studio right now?
No, I'm at home.
You're at home. Okay. There was pink lights and everything. And I just was going to ask, are you more of a hardware or software producer, or do you incorporate both?
I think I'm more a software producer. I have everything in the box. You know, I don't. I never use the analogic stuff. Not because I don't like it, but probably because I never use it because maybe it's too expensive, you know. So I always use the virtual instruments. So now that maybe I could buy something, you know, to add in my studio, but I'm so used to use everything virtual that I don't need it. Probably one day I will buy, but just for fun, you know, to understand how to use analogic stuff. But yeah, I have everything in the box.
What is your software choice that is your go-to software choice that you use when creating mixes, beats?
I use Ableton Live. Sometimes I use Logic too, but I started with Logic, but now I use Ableton because I find it's faster. You know, you have more shortcast, everything. Also managing the loop, everything. It's easier. And
Yeah,
we always looking for something that you lost less time to do your stuff. You know.
absolutely. I'm not a musician by any means, but after using Apple products for so many years, I have Logic. I love the layout of it. It was always an awesome program to go into and make music with. But I know Ableton Live is like a huge one that everyone uses. So awesome. Thank you for that. And so producing music, though, it stands synonymous with spending countless hours behind the computer making your beats. What do you do in your free time to stay fit?
Oh, to be honest, I don't have a lot of free time because yeah, what people don't know that I'm not only a DJ producer. No, I also have my own company. That's called Origami Management, and we are on our labels. We are publishers. We have our artists. We have a big project at the moment called climaxplay.com.net. It's a website. It's very cool because you can go in the website and see what DJ is performing better on Spotify divided for countries. So, for example, if you want to see who are the top 10 DJs on the USA, you can go click USA and see who are DJs. So in this moment of my life, the time it's what I miss more. So I just go to the gym when I have time just to, you know, yeah, that's.
Well, like we were talking before the show a little bit, and you know, I know how it is when a producer gets it. A lot of people don't know I spend a lot of time myself in behind the computer, you know, doing a lot of like editing and social media and networking and all that fun stuff that people don't see us do. And I recently, well, I guess not recently, it's been almost a year now that I got my first Oculus. And I actually use Oculus now to do some of my like Beat Saber and synth writers to do my workouts. And it's the nice way to do some stuff. But yeah, it's good to obviously get up away from the chair from time to time and at least get up and walk around, get a glass of water, stay hydrated, you know, just even for creativity and get time away from that. So it's always interesting to find out what people do in their free time to kind of stay fit and alert. You mentioned origami, and I know you have something coming up for Miami Music Week. Tell us a little bit about that coming up at the end of March here.
We are organizing a festival to called Origami Festival at Domicile. It's an underground club close to Wynwood in Miami. And we involved a lot of artists from our origami management and also artists that already released with our labels. It's gonna be 12 hours of party, and we will party really hard because we stay 2 years closed in our apartments here in Italy. So that's something that we really want to do.
Yeah, I'm right there on the fence almost about going to Winter Music Conference. I just got back from a road trip of going from Seattle to Arizona to Vegas with our mobile studio to do like a test run road trip. We have a what we call the DJ Sessions mobile studio. So think of a big glass box truck or a big glass box on the back of a truck that we built a mobile live streaming studio in with a concert grade sound system, and then driving up and down the Vegas Strip. So that was kind of fun to do for like 4 days. So still trying to recuperate from that and get all the work in. And I know if I went to Miami Music Week, I wouldn't be down there just for 12 hours for your party having fun. I'd be down there every day having fun. And it's funny because the idea for the DJ sessions started in 2009. The original conception of the DJ sessions, which was the live streaming DJ show, started at Winter Music Conference 2009.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where the first idea of it came about. And we've been doing this for a while. And it's always a great one. Do you have plans to do anything else with any other music conferences or festivals for 2022?
Yes, we are already organizing something for the IMS in Ibiza. That is 1 month after Miami Music Week. I have some tours. Finally have some tours in South America, here in Europe. I'm also starting to speak with some booking agency from United States to do a tour in the United States. Things are slowly coming back to normality, because here in Europe, in Italy especially, the clubs were closed till 2 weeks ago. So for us, the life is coming back to normality now. I know that in the United States, you stay open for many times. I have also my friends from Brazil that they are partying, they are doing everything, big parties. But for us, it's a bit different now. So I'm very happy to start to play again in front of a crowd. That I think it's the most important part of our job. It's like a football player that never do goal if you don't play in front of the people.
Exactly. And are you planning to attend any other events like Sonar or ADE this year as well?
Yeah, of course. I'll be at the ADE, probably at Sonar too. I have already confirmed some festival that I don't remember at the moment. Yeah, finally things are also for Miami Music Week. I'm not gonna play only my party. I'm gonna play at the revealed party. I'm gonna play the party of Protocol. I have like 10 parties during Miami Music Week, so it's gonna be pretty busy. I'm not used to do that anymore. So
yeah, no, I know how that. It was in, like I said, I haven't been back to that particular conference for so many years, but I just remember my first year. It was my first year actually on the road. My first year going to a major music festival, 13 years ago, and just trying to run around and get all the press and get into all the nightclubs and network and be. It was just so crazy with everyone that was there and the partying that was going on, and trying to just get around Miami too and not knowing the city and But I remember just seeing some phenomenal clubs while I was there that just really, I hope they're still there to this day, but it was an awesome time, a really fun time. So
I love Miami Music Week because, it's very different from all other conferences. For example, if you go to ADE, Amsterdam Dance Event, okay, it's cool, but you do all the day meeting appointments. In Miami, everything is chilling. You do your appointments in a pool party, drinking a mojito, and you say, okay, let's meet in another party. So it's work, but it's a kind of funny work.
Yeah, we're getting geared up with we're looking at probably Sonar and ADE later this year, definitely. And then having a full festival lineup for 2023 that we just know, and it's all planned out. And we're branching out and growing and probably getting liaisons in Europe and Asia as well, so we can have people on the ground there. So it's an awesome thing, this worldwide phenomenon of electronic music and what happens all over the world. And there's always something going on, or there will always be something going on, which is just amazing. Great. And speaking of events, if you could host your own event without any limitations, what's the 5 things you would want to have at that event?
Oh, free beer for everyone, a huge sound system, pool, bikini girls, and house music all night long.
All right, there you go.
I think that's the perfect party,
There you go, perfect party. Awesome. And we know you're from Italy, or you reside in Italy, originally from Rio de Janeiro, but is there a country that stands out to you in high regard for your type of music, like the best country in the world that your type of music comes from?
I experienced the different crowds, and I really enjoyed. I think Europe, for example, UK is the country. UK and Ibiza are the place where they know. They are really, the people really knows about my music, so it's like the university for DJs. When you play in Ibiza, for example, you see people, they are really focused on what you are doing as performance, as DJ. Then I like South America, because the energy of the crowd, people really, really have fun, really enjoy the music. You are like a superstar for them. Then I really enjoy Japan, because they have a lot of respect. They stayed all your set. It's like they are in a theater. So if your hands up, your hands, everybody hands up their hands. They stay looking at you all the time. So, Middle East, I played in Bahrain for New Year's Eve in front of 50K people. It was crazy. They really enjoyed it. And it's strange because it's a no alcohol crowd, because it's but they really like it. So I think that the most beautiful part of our job it's go in different countries and see the reaction of the people.
Yeah, I guess that you would see that from all over the different aspects of all the different types of crowds and people in different environments around the world. That was awesome. Where's your most favorite place to play though?
Oh, I really love to play in Ibiza. Yeah. It keeps in every research, all that I do, obviously for years and years, that has been the Mecca, the place to go. And it kind of sets the trend for the rest of the world. Yeah. If you are a DJ, you feel like, I always feel a little bit nervous when I play in Ibiza, because I know it's different. I know even if you are playing for 50 people, probably are people that can change your life as DJ, because all the managers, all the important people of the dance scene stay in Ibiza. So it's like for an actor to perform in Broadway.
Yep. I guess that would, I could see that definitely being a very good equivalent, a good comparison there. Here's a question: at dance clubs or other clubs or other dance events, do you feel that should people look at the DJs like they are rock stars, or would it be more fun if the DJs were slightly more anonymous and just part of the bigger event?
Yeah, I think I think the DJ as a rock star is part of a economic system, no? The huge festivals, everything. It's a lot of money if you think Tomorrowland, Ultra Music Festival, Mysteryland, Creamfields, and of course, people need to create the rock star, that is the DJ. So this is good for our scene, but I enjoy very much the club culture when the DJ is part of the club. It's not so with all the fireworks or CO2. I like the vibe of the club, the mood to build a gig like with the flow, with the wave at the beginning. You play slowly, then you go up, and then you go slow again. I like this kind of mood in the clubs. I don't like the club that every DJ it's a rock star and every DJ is pam 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 pam. But I understand why it exists also this kind of festival and yeah.
When I grew up as a kid, some of the first nightclubs that I would go to, the DJ, you had a stage, you had a dance floor, but the DJ was kind of off to the corner. This club I used to go to called the Underground. They had a booth that kind of was up in the air that looked over the floor down below. And there was actually plexiglass in front of that booth, because back then they had turntables. They wouldn't want anyone throwing something, getting something in there and hitting the booth. It wasn't that bad of a club, but the DJ wasn't really part of it. It was kind of, you had the environment that was going on, and the DJ was kind of secondary to that environment that you were transported in until it started becoming, let's highlight the DJ. Let's put the DJ front and center. Let's put the flame machines and the CO2 and the LED panels and the walls and the go-go dancers. And that became basically a theatrical production, to that rock star level. And you're right. I think we can see why that elevated to that. But I think, going back to that club essence, it might be better. A DJ might be off in the corner, and it might be people sitting around having martinis. And
I think, my opinion, this is good if you have if the music is always at the center of everything, But the problem is and I have the go-go girl, the flames, but nobody cares about the music. So it's just it's just show business, and that's the problem.
Yeah, if you could change one thing about the electronic dance music scene or EDM scene, what would that be, and how would you go about it?
Oh, that's a very tough question. Probably for example, I think one of the problems is that DJs are not producer and producers are not DJs. Now everybody is DJ producer, but are not the same, because if your skills is to be a good DJ, okay, somebody can be a good DJ and a good producer, but if your skill to be a good DJ, it doesn't mean you have to be a good producer. But as now all the DJs must be also producer, many DJs they use the ghost producers, and many producers, they are very famous because they produce amazing songs. They are not DJs. They don't have any idea how to DJ in a club in front of the people, and that's a problem, because I know many of these great producers that go in big clubs, and then it's a flop, because they are great producers but not great DJs.
Yeah.
Probably we need to come back to when a DJ was a DJ, a producer is a producer, different things.
Yeah, and it's I've seen that over the years, and even like some of our residents, they're getting into producing now, which is great. I mean, I always encourage people to expand their knowledge and understand things. But you're right. It kind of is. If you look at somebody and if you don't have the socials, your social, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever, your TikTok, whatever that is, if those aren't high numbers, are people listening to the music that you're producing? If you don't have high numbers on Spotify or downloads or listens on SoundCloud or Beatport, well, how do you get booked, or how do you elevate your career if you aren't getting that attention being brought to you? And it's kind of a double-edged sword, unless you go and you hire a manager, you hire somebody in PR, you hire a booking company that's going to take and build your brand. But that brand is a business. It's an investment. And, and that just takes a lot of times. Where are we going?
I'm taking my charge to charge the phone because I have like 5% of battery. But I do.
That's okay. Hey, it's always a journey on the DJ sessions. Speaking of,
I totally agree with you, because it's another part of the job that I don't like. All the socials, sometimes people tell me, oh, you do a lot of things. You do festival all around the world. You release with Spinnin Records. You release with all the big. You are the ninth most supported producer in the world. Why you have only 50K people on your Instagram? And I tell them, because it's real. Because I don't use bots. I don't use. But people, the promoters. When they look for someone to the club, the first thing they do, they go to your Instagram to see how many followers you have, and that's don't have anything about. They don't care about the music. They call a house DJ in a club that plays reggaeton, or vice versa, no?
Which is interesting, because there are tools out there for promoters to use that actually, if the artist is having the data put in, I'll give a kind of a plug to one of them called Polestar. If you're listed in Polestar and your shows are being uploaded and it says, you could go and look and say, let me go see what this DJ has done year over year over year. And so if they come to me and say, I want $25,000 for a show, you can say, hey, your last 5 shows, you only got booked for $2,000 per show, or you only had 400 people show up. You don't have 85,000 people showing up. No, I'm not giving you 25 grand. And it's a really cool tool to use. And I know that there's a friend of mine out of Seattle, they're building another tool that kind of will integrate with Polestar as well to help smaller clubs understand that booking process. Because this came out of something where he was told one act, he spent $25,000 on a show, expecting 2,000 people to show up. Had he known about Polestar and found out that the track record of this group coming in only had 500 people tops at their last 10 shows, he would have said no for 25 grand. He would have booked them for maybe 5 grand. And he wouldn't have lost a lot of money on that show. And that's just things that a lot of people don't know about, and they want to base it. Oh, are they popular on Instagram? Okay, well then let's book them. And it's, again, those numbers can be inflated. And Instagram is also coming in from all over the world. So if you could really dive into somebody's Instagram and find out, 45% of their people that like them on Instagram live in India, well, take that out of the equation. And if another 20% or 30% are out of Europe, take that out of the equation. And you go, wait, they only have about 5,000 people following them in the US. Where do those people live in the US? And if I'm going to book them, what's that going to do here? If I'm trying to book them in, say, Seattle, Washington, how does that translate? You can't accurately base that off of somebody's Instagram numbers. But building a social network is helpful, especially when you want to release tracks. Or, you can push a button and then, there's 6,000 likes and people start sharing it and it starts going a little viral. That can help in that aspect. So it's very interesting to see that PR in the early days, it was, PR and networking. and getting yourself on tour, a lot of handshaking and booking. Now you got to throw that social media into the mix. And that's a constant, always going things. I look up artists all the time, and you look and go, this is a phenomenal artist. They're top in the world, but they have nothing on Twitter, or they have nothing on Facebook, or nothing on Instagram. And it's, you talk with them and they're like, I don't really care about that stuff. I care about making my music, and I got my show. They got their mechanisms in place. But for a new DJ or producer, those are key factors to have. I keep telling my crew all the time, get your socials up, get your socials up.
Yeah.
So, speaking about being around the world though, and being out there, you have, is it in Da Silva house?
Yeah, it
Your
was in Da Silva house. It was my radio show. It's called The Lizard.
The Lizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, The Lizard.
And you have that syndicated to a number of stations around the world, correct?
Yeah, correct. I work with I have in my team a guy that sent my radio show to, I think, to more than 40 radio stations around the world. And that's pretty cool, because you do everything in your own studio, and you don't know how many people will listen to your show. But then when you see the report and you see all these radios, many of them are FM radios, that's great.
That's the one key thing. I came from a broadcast television world, and a lot of people have asked me, Darren, what has been the success on becoming a top 10 live streaming DJ show on Twitch? And what you've done is you've syndicated your show. You didn't just play it on one FM station in Italy. You syndicated to 40 other stations, and they provide you with reports. A lot of people don't know how that works. And I come from a broadcast television world. The same thing I did with my TV shows is we produced it out of Seattle, but we syndicated it on 13 different stations up and down the West Coast. Wow. And we could then go to a bigger sponsor and say, hey, we're in 13 different major demographic areas, and we got this much for viewership. And because we have our Nielsen ratings, or I don't know if you use Arbitron or not for whatever they use to report, but you get your ratings and they go, wow, you're in all these different markets. This is good. And I'll let this secret go now because we're already successful. But people wondered what our success was. And I would tell them, syndicate your program. We can take an embed code from Twitch, and I can go, we're out there on about 100 websites. I'm not going to say what websites they are, but we can take that player and put it on a website. And if that website has 100,000 people going to it, when we go live and pop on, people that are searching that website are on that page, and it adds to our viewer count and gets those viewers. And those are deals that I negotiated years ago. And so when you flip a switch and people are like, oh, you all of a sudden pop on, you have 1,000 viewers. And it's like, yeah, because we're going live on 100 different websites all over the world that are still active and have active viewership that aggregate that viewership. So it's very awesome. And congratulations on that, because that is a feat to get place and keep it going. So,
congratulations to you, to your show.
Thank you. But the question I was going to ask is, now, is it just you playing on your show, or do you take mixes from other DJs, or what is the format of your show?
No, at the moment, I do the mix. I do 1 hour of radio show. So I play a lot of IDs. So many people that wants to listen to, what's going to be next, I received a lot of promos every day. Mm-hmm. So I play a lot of track that is unreleased. That's make the show more interesting, because people that want to listen something that it's not released yet, they can find it on my radio show. They can find what's going to be released on Black Lizard, what's going to be my next tracks, and also tracks from other people that send me the promos. And
do you actively take promos, or do you just seek promos? Like do you have a set list of, this is where my pool of promos and my list come from, or if I was a producer, could I submit something to you and
Yeah,
say, hey,
yeah. I listen to everything. When
okay,
before prepare my radio show, I listen to all the demos that I receive, and if it fits my radio show, because I have my own style, of course, I play it. And I have an email. It's Leandro Da Silva promo no, Leandro Da Silva promo at gmail.com,
okay,
and I receive everything there.
perfect. That was going to be my next question, is where can people submit to if they were interested in doing that? Now, switching gears up just a little bit more to something on the forefront or looking forward on future technology, have you looked to doing anything in virtual reality or augmented reality? I did see something where you did a Minecraft streaming event not too long ago. And how was that experience for you? And has that made you think about virtual reality or virtual nightclubs or augmented reality in the nightclubs in any way?
I'm really curious about this metaverse. No, I did a DJ set for 1001 Tracklist Festival that was inside Minecraft, and I also work with an
He's a busy guy, everyone.
yeah, sorry.
It's all good.
It was a call. And I work with a NFT company that sell my music on NFT. Yeah, not just the music, but also, I don't understand a lot about NFT, but I follow what they say. And yeah, it would be cool also to create, like, for example, a club on the metaverse. I'm really curious for this new technology, even if I don't totally understand 100% yet.
Yeah, we're actually in the process right now of launching our first versions of 2 separate nightclubs in alt space. Yeah. And once we get those up and running in alt space, we're actually really excited because nobody in the platform has kind of our build. And we're really excited. I mean, we're going to probably in the next 2 weeks here, we'll open it up. The main nightclub is called Beta, because it's our beta nightclub. It's our beta first version of our nightclub. But then we have another smaller nightclub that you come into, and it's called Entry. So you come into Entry, which can be featured and all this fun stuff. I won't go too much in the technical details, but once you're in Entry, you can then say, oh, I want to go to the bigger nightclub. And once you go into the bigger nightclub, you're like, whoa, this thing is huge. And it's like, if it was a real nightclub, you'd be like, this place is huge. Like, it's awesome. And you can do it from a laptop or within Oculus, within a 3D environment. So as long as you can get alt space, it's really awesome. We're super excited for that. And so you also mentioned something that is the hot topic word right now, NFTs. And you do have NFTs ready to go. What is, even though you may not have a full understanding of it, I don't have a full understanding of it yet. My friend just started an NFT company. We're looking to do an NFT stuff with DJ sessions. How has that been working out for you so far? Have you found what you would call success, or has it been more headaches, or you see the future of it? It's just going to be a long-term kind of goal to have these added into your PR, booking, management, social media, NFT.
NFT, yeah. I don't fully understand too. What I can see for now is a source of another source to gain money, and that's good for the Spotify, as we told before, changed the game, but the revenues from Spotify are too low at the moment. I have some friends that did millions and millions and millions of streams on Spotify. Then you go to see the revenues are very low. Also, for my music, I have more than 70 million streams on Spotify, but the revenue, believe me, it's really slow. It's really low. It's not like before when you sell your music, you know. So in the long term, I don't know how that can be sustainable. You know, producers need to find other source of to gain money because it's a job. For now, I can see that NFT help you to get money, even if I didn't understand what is NFT. Yeah, I understand. They already explained me like 10 times, but I still have some points, some black points that I don't understand.
It is, and that's, you know, I'm working with a friend of mine. He's saying wait till Ethereum 2 comes out, and that's the more secure and the new version for Web 3. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm still researching it. I want to know this because we have some really neat ideas that we want to do here at the DJ sessions with our show that we haven't seen anyone do yet, and looking to roll that out. Like I said, there's always something going on behind the scenes that people don't understand, especially like you would understand, owning a label and putting on events and doing stuff and planning out 6 months, 1 year in advance on releases and rollouts and timing to put all this stuff together. And it's just an ongoing thing. But yeah, really excited to see what that NFT process does from the independent artists to the bigger names, like such as yourself. And, you know, can that help balance the market? Or will will somebody like Spotify say, we need to increase revenues a little bit because people are dropping from our platform to go do their own NFT projects? You know, you could sell 100,000 NFTs and maybe you're getting $1 off each one of those.
Yeah.
You know, or even if you're getting 10 cents off of each one of them, you know, I mean, you know, or probably hopefully more, 50 cents but the cool thing is as those get sold around the world, you're still earning revenue off of those being sold over and over and over and over again. So if the person gets more popular, the value of those go up. And so I'll sell that for $5. Boop, well, I'll sell it for $10. I'll sell it for 20, you know, and I think it's going to be a very interesting minefield, minefield for learning what to do and what not to do, but also maybe I don't want to say battlefield, but promised land as well to get people to put a little bit of power back in the artist's hands. Well, you know, Leandro, I've had a great time talking with you today. Is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about before we let you get going?
I think we touched all the points that I would like to talk about. So thank you very much for the interview. I had a lot of fun. It was really nice to meet you and to be here. Yeah. And I will follow you on all the social media. Thank you. You have a new followers from Rome.
I'll follow. I'm already following you. Where can people find out more information about you? Where's the best places to follow you at? I know you got all the socials, but
I'm on Instagram, Leandro Da Silva. On TikTok, I do a lot of videos on TikTok. So Leandro Da Silva.
TikTok is the craziest thing right now to me. I have more cooking videos on TikTok than I do anything about the DJ session. It's so hilarious of what you can make there. But how about you got your website too?
I have my website. It's leandrodasilvadj.com. My Spotify to discover my music, my SoundCloud. If you type Leandro Da Silva, you can find everything.
It's all right there. Well, again, Leandro, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Well, tonight in your world. What time is it over there in Italy?
It's 8:26.
That's not too late.
No, it's okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. We'll get in touch with you and follow up with you in the next few months here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And on that note, don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on Instagram, find us on TikTok, find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, find us out there at thedjsessions.com. This is Darren and Leandro coming to you for the DJ Sessions presents the virtual sessions. And you know what happens on the DJ Sessions? The music never stops.